One of these days, I will replace this magenta square on the title screen. That day is not today. Hello, all the crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. Let's do some bullet hell. Alright, so this game is quickly approaching something close to like what I would actually like call a game that actually looks presentable, which is nice. I have way too many tabs open right now. This is the one that I actually want right now. Like, some people have a problem having too many browser tabs open. I have too many browser windows open. Anyway, close some of the ones that I don't really care about right now. Let's start checking things off of this big old to-do list. I know that I've done a lot of just like general fixes things in the last couple weeks of this game dev series, and I haven't done anything really targeted and specific. That is, of course, the nature of games when they get down to the final stretch. This thing was feature complete several months ago. But let's look at taking care of some of these fun issues. Out of curiosity, don't usually look at this metric at the beginning of videos, but I am curious now how much of it I'll be able to knock off today. General bullet should be a color that isn't white, so that the white bullet and white outline doesn't blend in. I also have the ability to, I think, turn the bullet outline black. Which might be an easier solution. I kind of like black outlines and white like foregrounds, like white main fills. So I might do that instead of turning the bullets like red or something. Where are the bullets drawn? I hate it every time an airplane flies past outside because you can like barely hear something funny on the microphone, but you can't actually hear that it's like a real object in the real world, and it just sounds like demonic possession or something. Oh, okay, so the bullet is drawn. Oh, that's why I can't just make the outline another color, is because the bullets are drawn on the application surface, and the application surface is drawn with the outline, then it's not like the bullets are outlined individually. So alright. Fine. Let's look up some sprites for bullets. I don't believe sprite bullet explosion is still in there, but we'll give it a color anyway. I don't want to rely too much on, like, exact colors, but I think I can make the enemy bullets, like, black. And I think if I just paint bucket this, that's going to also make the player bullets black. So I think I'm going to have to make a separate bullet sprite for enemies. Oh no, I have the different bullet shape already. Alright, you know what? Let me find a level with things that actually do shoot at you. Alright, does this make sense? Should I keep them black? Should I make them like red or something? The player bullets are still kind of blending in, but that's a separate sprite. I can just give that another color. Red is traditionally the angry color. I won't make it like pure red. I'll make it like light red. There is the matter of the bullet underscore player. I can give this like... And again, I don't want to rely too much on colors, but I just want... Yeah, especially red and green. Let's not do red and green. Red and blue isn't that much better, but at least it's not red and green. I want the contrast to show up against like the desert level backgrounds more than anything else. This is not a desert level. Can I enter a desert level? Alright, the scorpion levels are a desert level with a much brighter background, and indeed, this is the part that I was concerned about. You can see the bullets much better against the background here. I might ask for second opinions on these. Of course, in these let's make game dev videos, second opinions via the comments are always welcome. But I might also like just show random like minimal context screenshots of these color schemes to people and see what they have to say. See what people think reads well and also doesn't read well. So. Alright, that was what, two levels of scorpions? Oh, the guys that chase you down. I'm still not 100% sure that I like these. I feel like these are the weakest enemies of this whole thing. Not sure if I wanna fix them now. If anything, removing them from the game might just be safer, and less cause less headache overall. But I'll wait until people actually like play this and tell me what they think about it. Or if I get sick of them in testing, I might just get rid of them. Anyway. So let us make this a commit. No updated game maker commit this time because I stayed on 2022.9 stable for the last few weeks. What else is there? Bullet colors, indeed. That wasn't too difficult. That only took a few minutes. Buff the boss HP levels. Yeah, that is something that I want to do. Exactly what the boss HP level should be buffed to is something that we can debate all day and night. What I can actually do, and it would be probably better than going into the object properties, is go into the room editor levels 6, 9, and 12, I think are boss levels. And I can actually just look at your variable definitions, and I can increase your health max to, for example, 400 for the first boss, and perhaps we can increase your HP to say 600. That's 60. 600 for the second boss, and for the final boss it can be maybe 1,000. Right now the bosses are definitely beefier than regular enemies, but they still don't live that long. Let's just see how this feels. This is one of those things that I'm probably gonna like. Oh, did I like delete my progression information? I really should have a cost for upgrading each of these, shouldn't I? I thought I had a cost listed on these buttons, but apparently I don't. That's something I'll have to do. Let's try this out. BI Bonanza. Alright, so your HP is scrolling slower. It's not going like as slow as fast as it was before. It's also not absolutely crawling, which is a good thing. You are gonna have a couple seconds of like invulnerability before your next stage starts. I can set you on fire. That's gonna do a little bit of fire damage. Can't really see the fire under your object. I might want to tweak the fire particle parameter so that the effect is a little bit. Ooh, that was bad. The effect is a little bit bigger. Anyway, can we deal with all you? You are going to. I apparently had your HP stage change, so maybe 400 HP is even a little bit low on the low side. Alright. I like that I can't just ignore the friend enemies. Sounds wonderful. The friend enemies that come in. I like that it actually does become something that you have to deal with if you don't want taking out the actual boss to be very complicated indeed. Let's see. I think that was fine for the first boss. That's not what I was looking for. You just came in. Alright. That's a... I hate centipedes. That's a glitch that I should take care of. Because I do not want to crash the game if you instantly exit a level that has centipedes in it like that. Let's see. I did not get any stars. Alright. I did, by the way, like think of something that I might do for a third star criteria. Cockroach Chaos was the next boss. That being something like if you finish a level with a certain amount of score. I really do like the angular player bullets. It makes it look like they're actually stabbing through things like this. I feel like it, like the little pulse that things do when they take damage. I feel like it makes the game feel more active, you know. All right. Okay, you're definitely the difficulty of the attack waves isn't all that high because it's honestly pretty easy to just avoid these, but You gnats are really gonna be getting under my skin, aren't you? Did I take damage from something? I can't really tell because I have infinity HP in the testing mode. See how much damage a bagworm bomb will do to you if you hit it, because like six of those bullets there, and almost all of those collided with the boss's hitbox. That's a decent amount of damage, all things considered, from coming from friendly fire. Alright, I think I might actually nerf your HP. I'm gonna nerf you down to 900 for now. And level 9, I did say that I would buff your HP total to, let's say, 700. Alright. The final boss did feel like it was moving rather slowly, although that probably wouldn't be the case if you actually had skill upgrades, which I didn't at the time. But I'm going to say this is that for now. That's like 10 minutes. Most of that's going to be cut out. That was just me playing the game. Buff the boss HP a bit. Hacknplan. I wish it wouldn't automatically open the sidebar thingy when I come back to it. Let's see. Bagworm bullets should have different designs to indicate that they can friendly fire. That's most likely just going to be another matter of root color. I might change the shape as well. I might make them like a star shape or something. Let me just get a good look at them now, so that I can actually see what they look like. Okay, I think I will keep the color, actually, but I will... I will make them like a star shape or something. And I can do that by... Why do we not have... Anyway, I'm just gonna knock out a few pixels like this. That looks like a crosshair. That looks a little more like a crosshair than I really wanted. Your sprite index is going to be set to SPR bullet friendly fire. That one. And any other dye methods overridden? Bagworm, faux template player, centipede segment, faux template explode. I don't know if this is actually inherited from anywhere. Pill bugs also explode on death. Oh, can pill bugs friendly fire? They probably should. Gonna accomplish that just by saying... I can make that another variable definition. I like using variable definitions more than I like, you know... tacking them on with a dot operator later on, or not variable definitions, instance creation parameters. Though in this case, I don't think that matters. Alright, let me go kill some bagworms, see what this looks like. Someone is contacting me on Discord. That's probably about duck game. I'll address that off screen in a moment. First... Alright, they mostly just look like diamonds, not really star shapes, but is that sufficiently different from the rest of them?
Hey.
I feel like if the sprites were a little bigger, I can do that. I can make the sprite a little bigger. Let me resize all frames, perhaps 10 by 10. And is that going to be more of a like a star shape? Is that going to be a little bit tiny bit easier to see? One extra pixel of buffer space on all sides. Alright, I think that's good enough. I think that's adequately star-shaped. Let's see. I am going to say, friendly fire explosion bullets. Alright. Let's see. We can go and check that one off. That's nice. And let me address this Discord thing, because that notification is going to bother me if I don't close Discord while I'm doing this. Alright, where were we? So, when changing states, boss HP level should be rounded to the HP for that stage. I believe the common word for this in, like, game dev industry is HP gates. Do not quote me on that. But the what I'm going for there, you'll see in a moment, if I can actually find the faux template, faux boss. Where are we? Here we are. Why is that not in the templates folder? Anyway, whatever. I want your update HP stage method to and I'm sure there's a more elegant way that I can do this, but we will burst particles, we will invoke the on HP stage change method, and we will also say self.hp is going to be equal to self.health max divided by 4. We're just going to hard code this. Stage 2, that's going to be health max divided by 2. Stage 1, it's going to be 3 times that divided by 4. And that should cause the HP to be basically gated to whatever, whatever level it's supposed to be. Can I upgrade anything? Do my upgrades not get saved? Did that stop happening? Or is that because I'm playing in, like, not in the release config and some, like information is getting discarded? That's really weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't think I changed anything related to saving, but I'm gonna have to make sure anyway. So, we're approaching the 1/4 mark, or I guess 3/4 marks, depending on if you're drinking or pouring. I'm pretty sure I did not take damage there. I'm pretty sure that sound effect just played. That might have been the boss's HP effect, and not mine. Or maybe it was. I didn't hear it again. Anyway, the HP gate appears to be doing its job. You are gonna keep shooting at me. I would like to see you come down to 1/4 of your health remaining, without going below, and that seems to be happening. All right, and that should be inherited by all boss types. Foes have that too? What do you use this for? It's only used in the bosses. Alright, whatever, past self. Proper boss HP gates. And I can get rid of that. Texture filtering is mostly a waste of time. In fact, most of the objects in the game don't even sample from a texture anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it makes sense to be on for drawing particles, and as well as for the outline effect. Let's see, where are all of those things drawn? That's going to be in, like, the main game object. Boy, I've got a lot of things open here. I really only need the game controller at this point, and I guess the outline shader to be there. Anyway, draw end is going to be post draw. All right. For this, I can say GPU set text filter, and I can turn that off when we're done. I should also have this on when the particle system is drawn over here, shouldn't I? All right. So the background and the application surface, like, color information is not going to be drawn with texture filtering. Everything else is. I guess that'll also go. I'll also scan for the UI. Anyway, particles look soft. Outlines can't really see, but I'm gonna allow that to be the case anyway, even though it's not really a visual difference, because on principle it's 2 lines of code, and I want the code to be there. Very simple change. What did that take? Probably less than a minute from when I started reading the card to when I made the commit. Maybe a little more than that if you count the time that was spent in the game looking at it. When you attack a centipede, a bunch of hit sound effects play at once, and it's awkward. Using the alt attack on a centipede segment, and also sometimes other attacks on the centipede segments, when there are more than one on screen at once, cause a crash. Did I actually... I know I've written code that doesn't do this, but I don't know if I left it in. Like, commented out. Obviously, it's still happening. It's still crashing when I attack centipedes in certain ways, but... if it's in here already, it would be commented out, and it looks like it is not. This is going to be a little bit awkward, because I'm pretty sure that one of the places that I wrote down the code that fixes the problem is, like, in the bug report that I submitted to Yo-Yo Games about Game Maker, like, losing references to instances when they're destroyed in the same place. It actually looks like... Maybe, did I try to put that fix in? Does it still crash? Wait a minute. I swear it still crashes. For example, yeah, you can hear the issue with the sounds. It actually didn't crash there when I would have expected it to. Where's the next one? Alright. Did I actually fix the crash? I don't remember, like, doing that for good here. There's still the matter of what'll happen. Yeah, you're gonna have to circle around again. There's still the matter of what will happen when you, quit the game from this level. Sucks. But the crash seems to be gone, which is good. So I guess instead of dealing with this issue, let's change this to... This is one of those, like, silly-sounding bug reports that it makes perfect sense why it's happening, and it's still incredibly annoying that it is happening, but it's not nearly as, like, ridiculous as it sounds. Basically, in the cleanup event over here... Yeah, I suppose that the fix that I should be doing here is, let's see, instead of just destroying these in sequence, I could... Well, one, not try to access an instance's variable after it's been destroyed. But I could also var pending next is going to equal to next instance destroyed next equals pending next. The way that this was dealt with in the apparent fix that I wrote and forgot that I wrote in the onDamage method is to actually destroy the instances after, like, everything has been tabulated. But this should also fix the problem. I like the concept of centipedes gameplay-wise, but the code that I had to write to make them get detached when you pause the game. The code that I had to write when it came to, like, linking the segments is really bad. If I did this over again, I'd probably do it a little differently. But... Alright, game no longer crashes when you go to the main menu from a centipede level. What else was there? The fact that... So, all of the other enemies, when you pause the game, they will, like, you know, stop moving. I feel like the reason that these guys don't pause the game, don't, like, stop moving when the game is paused, is this collator. Although this doesn't do anything itself. Hang on. This will pause the game time source, and I think this call later invocation probably should be a proper time source and not just a call later, because that does need to be able to be paused easily when the game is paused. So time source create time source game 1 time source units seconds. The callback is going to be this big ol' thing. And what other arguments do we have? We do not have any other arguments. We can say self dot time source track player is going to equal to that, and then in the destroy or cleanup or whatever, we can say time source destroy self dot time source track player. And this should maybe take care of that issue. If it doesn't, I feel like it'll take care of some other potential issues that it's possible to have with these things. Nope, you're just gonna keep moving on your own. The issue that I have in mind when it comes to these is that they will, like... Yeah. Alright, these guys are all kinds of misbehaved in other ways. Why does it do that, though? It feels like your paths are not stopping, and when you pause the game, I have way too many... Speaking of having way too many tabs open, I have, at this point, way too many tabs open in the Game Maker. There's nothing about paths in the actual pause method, so it's not like it tells all foes to, like, put a hold on their pause method. Path start. Alright. In the step event, I wonder if it's just... Alright, path speed equals default path speed. If not, is playing path speed equals 0. Are we just not doing that? Okay, we're just not doing that. That's the problem. We're still doing the if not self.active return check. We're still doing a if not self.playing return check. But we do need to set the path speed to 0 if that's the case. And all right, you're gonna stop 3, 2, 1, and you're gonna keep going. All right, you guys are slightly more problematic than you were 5 minutes ago. That's great. Can I take you out before you reach the bottom of the screen? The fact that it's really hard to knock those guys off before they hit the bottom of the screen, I feel like it's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because it's annoying, but it's a good thing because it does force the player to see that they will circle back if they go off screen. No enemies despawn if they go off screen in this game, and I feel like by level 7 the player should be moderately aware of that. But I feel like that does serve a gameplay purpose, and I kind of don't want to change the HP values. Let's see. Centipedes behave when you pause the game. Was that a card? Alright, that was sort of this card. Burn duration crashes the game. That's one that has happened to me several times, and I feel like I should just deal with now. Dot duration cannot be dissolved. If burn capacity dot duration is greater than or equal to 0. And that's probably going to come down to... I think I actually looked at the source of this bug briefly, but didn't fix it. Upgrades get sub-weapon burn capacity. You should have duration value. Unless I misspelled it somewhere, which I didn't. That is really weird. Unless it's returning null for any reason. Special fire. I could just add a default case to all these, and one might argue that I should. If like default, if the burn capacity level or the damage buff level or anything is something other than the expected value. I don't know if that's possibly a case of like special fire level was like 4 or something invalid, some invalid value. Default case return 1.0. And I think that's it. I keep an eye out for that bug. I cannot for the life of me see where it would be coming from, but apparently I saw it several times because there was like the error message for it on OGX and on Windows. I should also need to figure out why all these are getting like respect every time I start the game. Anyway. That's going to be some default upgrade values. I will not check this off so far, but I will kick it back to the backlog again. I know it's been there and back several times now. Some UI elements on the title screen aren't anchored in the correct place. This is probably going to be just a matter of me looking through all of the layers on room initialization and making sure that everything that's like supposed to be centered to the center of the screen is centered and whatever. Let me run the game, and if I just set the screen size to like 1600 by 900, it should become obvious fairly quickly which UI elements are not where they should be. For example, Beehive Bonanza and the back button and the background. I think these are aligned to the center of the screen, like the middle of the screen vertically, and I feel like I want them to be, delete save is just floating around there. I feel like I want them to be aligned to the upper left corner, so I'm going to put them there instead. This is going to take a solid minute, isn't it? By the way, I must say, having the inspector work for room editor instances now is actually really nice. It means I no longer have to go through and like click on every one of the instances manually. I don't know when this feature was added. I did not find out that you could actually use the inspector in the room editor like this for a while. Several people had to tell me, but just having it work like that is really nice. This does not have a background behind it. I don't know if that was intentional or not. If I go to the delete save menu, you just straight up don't have a background behind you, so I guess that was intentional. For example, the clear data suffers from the same problem. I think that was actually just like a copy and paste of the level select screen. I think I actually just like copy and pasted all of the objects. Let me deal with this. Some of you had like FA_top in your vertical alignment. Alright, love copying and pasting and forgetting to change values. Let me go back and rerun the game now and make sure that everything is in the correct place. Preferences, like the screen size preferences, aren't saved, and they definitely should be. Bump up that a little bit, and the level select screen is in the right place. Clear data is in the right place. Upgrades are in the right place. Delete save doesn't matter. Settings are obviously in the right place. If I go back to the title screen, you're all in the right place. If I go to the gameplay UI, There is the matter of all this on the side, like this border is no longer like big enough to fill the screen. There's a couple ways I can deal with that. I'm gonna deal with that in a separate like work item other than the one that I've got open in hacknplan right now. So we're going to commit the alignment of some title screen UI elements. We can check that off. And the other centipede one, I know that one was at the top of the list. I didn't forget about it, but I wanted to not think about centipedes for like 5 whole minutes. When you attack a centipede, the hit sounds play in succession, and it's annoying. One way to do that let's see, there should be that's the step event. There should be the on damage method, inherited on damage. I can just stick a little variable in here that's like self.can play damage sound. Initialize that to true. The regular on damage method. If self.can play damage sound, play the damage sound. In the centipedes on damage method, one, don't do it twice. But also, alright, actually, I was going to say we'll just set a little miniature timer for, say, half a second or so when the centipedes take damage, but I think the fact that you're apparently playing the sound twice probably is going to be... Alright, that's actually fine. I don't have to do any of that stupidity with disabling the damage sound or anything, which is nice. That does make my job a little easier. All I actually have to do is get rid of... Alright, that was the correct one. Get rid of that playing the sound effect twice. Definitely contributed to the overall volume. Centipedes no longer play the damage sound twice on hit. That's fun. You go away. That is the end of my bugs that I'm going to address today for the time being. Quality of life things, which were under the files under the design category. Let's see, I've been recording for 50 minutes, and I've been letting these recordings go for about an hour these last few weeks, and then whatever that ends up getting cut down to is whatever it ends up getting cut down to. A third star criteria, be a certain score in each level. Oh, you know what I do want to do is, I would like to give a separate... What's it just with gameplay UI for? Alright, that's actually like part of what I already wanted it to do. Oh no, it's not. I want to adjust the size. We can say adjust fill vertical, and it's not a great variable name, but I'm going to use this to, if this is enabled, if that is enabled, we are going to stretch the sprite. What would this be? Image Y scale is going to be equal to HH divided by self.sprite height, and that should make that sprite fill the entire vertical space. And obviously you can also do it for horizontal if you want it, but I don't really feel the need to do that. And then there's the gameplay UI. For the time being, and this is kind of a stupid solution. First, let me check that off to true. But for the time being, I'm actually going to align these guys to FA middle on the vertical. And this is going to look a little weird when you're playing the game at a large scale, but it won't cause there to be like a bunch of empty space at the bottom, which I think would be even like considerably more awkward. So instead there's going to be just like a little bit of empty space on the top and the bottom, and the stuff is going to be centered and the UI over there. Not what I want. Why are you doing that? That is not normal. Oh, sprite height. I'm gonna need that to be self.sprite get height. That is not a method, that is just a built-in runtime function. Because the sprite height variable does change when image Y scale changes. I probably should have known that, considering that I've screwed around a lot in the past with sprite width and sprite height. Alright, so you can be made a little bigger, and then, alright, yeah, the panel on the side here is definitely filling the entire horizontal height. If I were to go into full screen, OBS, there we go. If I were to go into full screen, it's going to be spacing itself out appropriately. I still don't like it, but at the moment I can't really think of anything better that I want to do with it. Alright, let's see. Remind me. I did implement the background scale and stuff. I do kind of like that, to be honest. Why does that also affect the background scale? It shouldn't. I'm gonna have to look at that too. Alright, anyway. We are gonna get out of here. No, no, no. Stop, stop, stop. We're gonna get out of there. Don't care about that anymore. Leave a comment for anyone reading this in the future about that. It's not perfect. If you have one of these in the middle of the screen and you check that box, it's going to flow off the screen. But for this game, it is fine. I promise that sometimes I don't write code that's terrible, but it works for the purposes of this game. I promise that that's just like because I'm trying to make this fit within like 35 half-hour videos or whatever. Alright, I'm looking for something that I can do in like 5 minutes. Third star criteria, beat a certain score in each level. It's probably going to take a little longer. I will design the credits menu. Let's see. I think to show that, I will go into room initialization, and I will go to the title screen, UI underscore title. Right now there's start and quit. I can always add another button, and that's going to be credits. And the creation code is going to be UI title credits, which doesn't exist yet, but it will soon. Can I duplicate that layer? UI title credits. And let's see. We can start by going, and I should probably bring back the asset browser now. The inspector can go back down here. Inspector, can I dock you? Let's see. So I'm going to need a UI block raycast. That's going to involve an object in here. Let's see if I can get this like moderately centered. Grid is going to be like a half a grid unit off, which is annoying, so I'll have to adjust for that. And then there's going to be the matter of filling this all in. Let's see, UI text. This is just going to be a bunch of like UI text objects. Also going to need to... Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Alright, so this is going to be... buggy as hell. I will start off just by going and adding like a back button. For example, I'll just borrow from the UI delete save. That I believe is a back button. Is that a back button? Yeah, that's a back button and that's not a quit button. I'm just going to stick the back button down there. And let's see if we've got a basic credits menu. That does not look centered. I am almost positive that is not centered. Alright, so aside from the fact that I need to set the alignment of all these... Oh wait, I see it. So aside from the fact that... Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. But aside from the fact that there is like one little tiny bit of grid space off the side of the screen over here, because 1366 by 768, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grid squares on the right, but only 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left. So I'm just gonna have to take that whole thing and like drag it back, and I'm gonna... That suggests to me also that the would you like to quit menu is also not centered. If I'd done that thing that I've been talking about doing this entire game and like just created a sprite that serves no purpose other than to be a grid line for lining up UI elements, that would have saved me so much time, but this just says no. Humorous in the context of his credit screen, but that needs to say back. All right, what did we have on the credit screen? So there's obviously like, let's see, I'm gonna go and drag off another window onto my other screen right now, because I don't really need to show my YouTube dashboard. But if I go and grab the URL to the playlist, which is gonna be here. What did I? Hang on, let me open Bombardier. I want to see what I did there. I'm having a hard time remembering, because that was a year ago now. Alright, I haven't opened Bombardier in like 5 versions of GameMaker now, and I hope that it still works okay, and it does. Alright. You know, I thought I was gonna like be in more pain looking at something that I worked on a year ago, but I don't hate it. This ended up coming together into something that actually looks sort of like a game. The boldface text is a little weird. I don't remember why I did that. That might have been because like I thought the not bold text wasn't like thick enough, and this is boldface and there's no like bold light or semi-bold or whatever option on the font that I used. Okay, so that just said my silly little intro gag, and then that's going to be a button that links to the playlist. All right, can I settings? Can I mute the audio? Because I want this up in the background, but I don't want to hear that loop for the next long while. Okay, so if I just like grab that source text, and if I just like grab a button here, save that for later or something, and if I just like make this the right size. I wanted to cut off this recording at the hour mark, but I also want to get the credits in. And it's going to make editing this a bit of a chore, but if that's what it takes to save this from going on another week, I'll do that, I guess, at this point. So that is going to be the line, and... Oh, right, I should probably also, like, put credits in here, just because... and this also needs to link to the URL. The way that was done in the other game was by going into the creation code and just, I guess, an on-click URL open. All right, simple enough. I need to include the link to the actual playlist and not the playlist for the other game. Let's see. Many assets from Kenny.nl, some audio from Sonus. That's all the same. I honestly could probably just like steal most of the like the actual design of this actual page. I will update the names. I will update the names list down there. Let's see. Can I actually fit 3 of these side by side by side? I actually can. So this is going to be Kenny.nl. I would put his like actual name in there, except 1, it's long and will probably flow out of the text box, and 2, I don't think I can spell it. It's a Dutch name. And
hey,
I guess I could always look it up. The middle is going to involve Sonus and their GDC audio giveaways. And lastly, there is Ryan AVX. I think he formats it with the letters, the VX lowercase, yeah. Okay. He actually has gotten back to me finally, clarifying that he started a new job, which has taken some time away from his composing work, but I would have appreciated knowing that like a month ago and not want to have this thing at the door imminently, but we can hopefully get this together before the game ships. Let's see, that's going to be Kenny. This is going to be the Sonus link, I think. And it would be nice if I could just edit the creation code in the creation code preview window in the inspector. The inspector for instances in the room is mostly good. I think this is what most people were picturing when GameMaker announced inspectors last year, but it would be really nice if I could actually at least copy this code and paste it out of the creation code preview. Or like collapse the function definitions with code folding so that I can like see which functions are in it or something like that. But no time to worry about that now. I'm going to need that's still like the updated, up-to-date URL, right? I'm just going to make sure that doesn't 404 because sometimes people change their Twitter names. That is currently a current page. Okay. All right, so this is going to be this awkward spacer in the middle. Let's see. You are going to need your alignments to be set, all of you. I'm going to remember to do that before I run the game and realize that I forgot it this time. And also your vertical alignments need to be set like this. Okay. I should probably also all right, let's see if that opens up the URL, and it does. Let's open up Kenny's Twitter URL. Actually, that's his website, not his Twitter. That goes to the right place. Sonus GDC audio homepage, and that is Ryan. Okay. There is a second text label down there. I will fill that in. One, I should probably acknowledge, like, big old thanks to the people who, like, followed this and commented on this on YouTube. I did not remember to include that last time, I don't think. But I have not, like, sent this off to my sister to get her to test it and tell me what's wrong with it this time. She is currently in the, getting down to her final time in vet school and is, considerably busier than I am right now, so I've decided it probably would be a good idea to not annoy her. Although there have been a couple of people in the YouTube comments who have played it and said things about it, so I think I will give this a general. That's gonna have to be split into multiple lines because that's a long sentence. But I'll offer a general nod to the YouTube comments this time. Yeah, that's gonna have to be 2 lines. I'm also gonna need this to be taller, I think, just in general. How much taller, I'm not sure. Maybe 1 less than that. This is going to need 2 lines, and I can just stick everyone who watched New Line somewhere around there. Okay, that is aligned correctly. Oh, okay, so the back button goes to the start game and not to the title screen, which isn't what I want, I think. UI title. Is that also the case? Because I copied and pasted this from I think I copied and pasted this from the delete save button. Oh no, that delete save would have gone back to the title screen, to the level select, because the delete save button is on the level select. Now there is just the matter of the Patreon wall, and this actually wasn't done via a variable definition just because the name is so dang long. Okay. When I set up possible translation possibilities for this, I basically gave like certain strings, like tags like this, for things that would be needed to be that are too big to fit in a variable definitions window. Not sure if that's really a great design, but here okay, I just want to... Alright, so I can say self.sourceText is going to be equal to... actually, self.text is going to equal that, alright? Alright. This is going to need to be like self.update equals something, isn't it? Or wait. It's worth seeing if I can just do this the simple way before I do it the complicated way. So alright, so I can just set the text directly like that. And hopefully, do I still have Pirate Speak English as like my test language in the menu? I do not have any actual translations. That is something that is... Alright, I do have Pirate English. Let's see what the credits say. Alright, it looks the same as all the other ones. Like, I can't speak any other languages, and if anyone wants to contribute text or anything like that, I wanted to set it up so that that's possible, but it's not something that I can just, like, do on my own. I know, like, little bits of Italian and stuff, but not nearly enough for an actual game. Anyway, the other thing I'm going to have to do is definitely keep this on my other screen. When I did Bombardier, did I shout out everyone who had, like, contributed in total? Whether or not they were, like, active during the duration of this project, which admittedly at that point was most of the lifetime of my Patreon account, because I started this in June of 2020, and the Patreon was started in May. Alright, in hindsight, opening up the CSV and looking for the line and the list of text probably was not the most efficient way to find that information, as opposed to just, like, looking at what the screen said in the game. That was a bit of what one might call a brain fart. But I do have the list of names open in front of me. I did filter for everyone who has a lifetime pledge of more than, like, $1. Because at this point, that's something that I can reasonably expect to fit on this wall of text. Whether or not they're still active, and that is going to be a total of 37 people. But what I do want to know, did I put these in alphabetical order? It looks like I did. I think this time I will put them in reverse alphabetical order. I don't know if anyone actually looks that closely at these end screens, but I do occasionally flip around alphabetical order and reverse alphabetical order for the names. But let's actually make this a... one of these fancy string literals here. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. That's pretty standard fare text. Zenjamin, Tusk, The Nothing Happened, The Oz, Stephen Lonely, the 8-Bit Warrior. How many characters can I fit on a line before it starts to like run off the screen? Scarecrow. Excellent name, by the way. I'm gonna guess I can get to about 100 characters before it starts to get awkward. Sindra Larson, otherwise known as the Snitter. Shortbread. Robert Tester. Posho. Pom. Dairy. PJ. Perpetua. Pair. K. This is going to be hard. K. Capital I. 3. X. Y. Carl. Yerna Guernsey, who I swear I was misspelling his name on the end screens, but I looked real closely at it, and I don't think I actually was. It just feels like I was spelling something wrong. That has an H in it. Harold Guidry. Halo Factory. Gunnar Clovis, that is a first and last name. Gizmo199. Game Maker. Ferngilly. Edward Holt, that's Holt, not Hold. DJ GBLZ. They had to like send me a message telling me how to pronounce that because I had no idea. Death. David A. Key. I feel like I should put a period in there, like it's an initial, but it's just David A. Key in the Patreon username, so I'm gonna go with that. Connor. Kiara Elizabeth. Did I spell Elizabeth correctly? I think I did. Catherine. Cruick. I always just like gave up on this name and just copy and paste it from Patreon when it came to the end screens. SHANK. BRYIN. Banana Crabman, another excellent name. Army Armbuster. AUGUST. AUGUSTIN, and that is an I with an acute accent over it. I will get that character in a moment. Molina UASUF. And Indie Punch. In the past, I've omitted the @ because I assume that's supposed to be like a Twitter or Instagram or like TikTok handle, and not actually something that's supposed to be pronounced as part of the name or anything. But you know what? It really doesn't matter. Although I will move you down to the I section. G H J I J K. So that should be here. And now I'm gonna have to. Let's see if everyone's name fits. Let's see about how many characters I have to play with here. There may be a missing character on Augustine Molina's name, because I don't know if I have the... I didn't put the, let's see, acute accent I. Let me just copy that out of Google. Alright, I'm probably going to have to add this to the font range. I did see that some names actually all of these lines, so let's maybe cut the character count off at 80 characters instead of 100. Alright, that answers that question. It's the fun part of game dev. Trying to figure out how you're going to do the credits. It is fun in its own strange way, but it's also definitely a very different kind of work than usual game dev. In other games where I actually have a lot of materials that came from elsewhere, whether that's, oh, you still barely don't fit, gonna have to expand it again, whether that's like audio from like sound bundles that I've bought on the Unity store or whatever, or God forbid whatever the roll call for like Juju Adam stuff is that I have to use. I do have a big old spreadsheet with all that in it, and if not for the fact that pretty much everything in this game came from Kenny, Ryan, and Sonus, I would definitely do that as well. And that's kind of its own art of game design. I feel like if I add another new line in there, it's still not going to fit. Alright. This should fit in the box. I guess the other thing I could do is just make the box wider, but there's still space. Okay, that looks good. Augustine Molina's name does have the accented I over. Okay, so I guess my font range did include that, and I don't have to, like, do anything special. That's good to know. This is going to be probably the biggest commit in the game. Added the credits page. This was actually several subdivisions on here on the to-do list. This ended up being not applicable because I would say that that's counted as like Kenny. I wasn't sure when I laid out this planning board what exactly the graphics were going to be or where they were going to come from, so I added that one just in case. But I don't think it's really needed now. Oh, the GitHub also. There's the YouTube playlist. I'll just leave it as the YouTube playlist. I think the GitHub can be found in that anyway. All right. Nice. So we are almost done. I think there's going to be one more video of like fixing stuff, making sure that like the settings are saved when you change settings, because they're currently not, making sure that like progression is saved. Although again, that might just be because I'm running the game in like the testing config instead of the release one. I'm not sure if I'll start to build the game next time. I would like to start looking at making the game run on a Raspberry Pi. That is something that I haven't really touched so far in this series. I haven't really been trying that out on the fly the way that I did with Bombardier. Like, as we go, I haven't really been doing that as we go. I might do OGX, although, as I said, I'm going to have to screw around with the UI a lot to make it scale properly in OGX, and that just might be a headache that I reserve for some other time, so who knows. Audio, hopefully audio will be finalized, and I will have all of the music that I need from Ryan, and I will be able to actually get that in the game. So there might be some additional code written for audio, but we'll see. What else is there? I don't think I'll get around to building the game next time. What are we at? This is going to be week 38. I guess I'll start making a release now. I don't think I'll get around to building the game next time, but in all likelihood, week 40 will involve that, and then probably week 41 will involve like kicking it out into the world, making the itch page, all that fun stuff. Maybe I'll actually show myself testing it on different devices too, like on the real devices. And then there's going to be basically 1 week off while I can let the dust settle, and then, like last time, I will do a postmortem. And I suppose I'm gonna start probably mentioning this at the beginning of these videos for these last couple weeks. I have a list of things, a fairly extensive list of things actually, that I do want to talk about in the postmortem about how the project has gone. If anyone has any particular things that they want acknowledged, shout them out in the comments. I will be talking about things such as, if I can find my notebook. That's not the notebook. All right, here's the notebook. A lot of project management stuff is probably the main point of interest for me right now. There's also obviously things that went well and things that went badly. As it turns out, when you let GameMaker handle GameMaker systems, such as objects and events and that sort of thing, and not try to write everything yourself, not try to write your own event loop, you can work much faster. I mentioned that in the Bombardier postmortem too, I think, but it bears repeating here because I made a game that probably has more content in it in like 2/3 the amount of time. Of course, I'm going to talk about like the process of creating the videos. It's the videos themselves, at least a little bit. Things that went badly. I'm probably going to complain about centipedes a lot. But if there's anything else that people want to hear talked about in some postmortem, post a comment. And also, on a related note, I a few days ago posted a little like YouTube channel notice about both this and potential future projects. I am starting to think about those. I've been trying to not think too much about those up until this point, but we're getting to the point where that's starting to become a relevant topic of discussion. I will, of course, post a whole big long video dedicated to that later. But if anybody's got some thoughts on potential future projects, now would not be a terrible time to start discussing them as well. So, that's gonna do it. This recording went on 1:35, which is a half hour longer than I thought it was going to, until I remembered that I wanted to do credits today as well. If you want the code for this, look for the GitHub repository down in the video description. Look for the 0.38 release. That's going to be for this week. I have a Patreon, of course. You just saw me typing in a bunch of names. If you want to see anything like your name in the credits or in the credits of a future one of these games, head on over there. Otherwise, I try to post about 2 game dev videos a week. One let's make a game like this and one tutorial. So if anything of this nature strikes your interest, if you want to see more videos on how to do some of the weirder things it's possible to do in GameMaker, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later. Out of curiosity. Special thanks to Army Armbuster, DJ Gibbles, Edward Holt, GameMaker, Harold Gidry, Kiexi, Syndra Larson, Squarecrow, The Oz, and Zengerman for supporting these videos. If you want to contribute to the channel, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.